Grayscale is pumping up the crypto markets just in time for the XRP party in New York City. We're all going to be there. I want to see you there. This is Around the Blockchain. Thank you for joining, everybody. It's a great lineup today, so please go ahead and hit that like button. We're going to start it in the green square. Always looking smart. I blame the books. I blame his intellect, actually. Maybe it's the glasses. It is Firoz. Firoz, how are you doing today? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. I set you up beautifully. I teed you up. All right. I may have broke him. I broke him, folks. Also on today, we have Forrest. Forrest, how are you doing today?
Oh, man.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, and thank you for getting me away from the slaughter when it came to dust. And also, thank you for the sheep pump. Guys, you got to follow this guy's calls. Also on today, we got the Blood-Alytics man himself, Crypto Blood in the all-white party. You're not going to, Sean Combs' house, are you?
I'm feeling godly in my all white. I'm feeling godly today.
Hey, man, we're kind of mad. Hey, you know what? Let's just, I'm going to try to complete this. Oh, wait, whoa, it's a hood. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can do it too now. Okay, now. All right.
Well, let's talk about Grayscale first. Today, this is a little, make sure we get not too bogged down in the weeds, but I do want to stick to the specifics here. It's the U.S. Court of Appeals in D.C. They ruled in favor of Grayscale and Grayscale's appeal against the SEC when it comes to whether or not they could approve or deny their spot Bitcoin ETF application. This does not guarantee that they are going to get the green light, just that the SEC now is going to look at it. Guys, we just wanted them to look at our application. The SEC didn't even want to give them that much at the point. Now the SEC, they have 45 days to act. This move will likely lead to a in-Bach hearing review. I'm going to try not to spit too much Latin at you. In-Bach hearing review, we'll just bring it in front of all the judges in the court, not just the subset of 3 that were involved in this decision. They still reserve the right to deny the application, just to be clear. It just looks like maybe within the next 45 days, they are going to look at it. There was a little bit of a pump. Coinbase ended up pumping it. Crypto started pumping. We saw some really good pumps, and a lot of the SEC listed coins had outsized gains there. Now, Crypto Blood, were you looking, what coins overperform, or there's some coins that underperform? What were your thoughts? Did the markets overreact, or are we underreacting?
That's an understatement that it overreacted. Okay, so you telling me you think that now that they have to make a judgment, they're gonna be like, oh dang, you guys got my hand side. Now I gotta go ahead and approve it. I don't think so. They're gonna still deny it. But technically, there was a technical break for the bears or for the bulls to the upside. So you might this does give us and buy us some more time for us traders out there. So I still think that, and next time you come to me, I'll try to have my charts up. But I still think that we had lower. It was an overreaction. Hey man, we have to stop relying on these damn SECs, FBIs, DOJ, all the 3 letters. We got to stop relying on them. So it is what it is, man.
All right. Now, I heard some analysts and yourself as well saying, we're going to have a pullback. Does this change the dollar amount of the pullback? Does it maybe bump it up $1,000 for your pullback target?
Well, it just delays the lower move, in my opinion. Like we were right there on the precipice of moving and breaking that floor that we were sitting right at. So this news comes out of nowhere. It's a lot of short squeezing that occurred with this as well. And it took a lot of the shorts by surprise, and just delays it, man. I think we still had lower. Yeah, I still think we had lower in the short term.
All right, so still above the floor. The floor is still there. The floor hasn't gone anywhere. Now we're just Dalsum from Street Fighter. We're kind of hovering. Yeah, might not last long though.
We're right in my chart. I wish I had it ready, but I have on my chart. There's a red zone that I have that goes all the way back to March of this year. We're right smack dab in the middle of that channel yet again. So if we need to move above that channel for me to be bullish. But hey, it's just a waiting game.
I know you don't want to hear this, but hopefully no red zone. No red. All right, Forrest, moving on here off that terrible joke there. Do you think this is going to change the SEC's ruling on any future crypto endeavors? This ruling wasn't in their favor. Are they maybe sharpening their pencils and re-strategizing for the next target that they go after?
Look, I think the SEC just has a very anti-crypto stance. Whether that's just Gary Gensler at the top or that's a directive coming from somewhere else isn't clear. But what is very clear is that they are very, very anti-crypto. And what we've seen from the judges are just kind of the judges looking at it more objectively and saying, what's going on here? We saw it with the Ripple case. We saw it with Coinbase, a judge making a write-up, a summary judgment there. And now we're seeing it with this case. The judges are looking at the SEC and going like, "What are you doing here?" So every time they push themselves in front of a judge with their very, very anti-crypto stance, they've come out looking dumber and dumber and dumber. I do think that eventually, and I don't necessarily think it'll be in the next couple months, but I do think in 2024, who's more powerful, the SEC or BlackRock? In my opinion, probably BlackRock. I think BlackRock has more money and more power than the SEC does. And I think ultimately we do get a Bitcoin spot ETF approval if that's really what BlackRock wants. And I do believe that is what they want. I think the SEC is just going to try to delay it as long as they can because they don't like crypto and Gary Gensler doesn't like crypto. But I do think that his days at the SEC are probably numbered to some degree. Whether he gets through 2025 or not, at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to do this forever. These cases are going to be continually put in front of judges, and every single time they seem to be losing.
All right, running out of days, like he's running out of hairs on his head. I can relate. Deezy, I would agree. Or go ahead, Blood.
Yeah, he makes a good point. Forrest makes a good point about BlackRock. See, I don't think another reason why I don't think this is getting passed anytime soon because I think BlackRock is going to get the go ahead before a Grayscale. So to me, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and if not coming in the door first, coming in tied for first. Forrest, I would recommend listen to Forrest. I too agree. I think it's going to be 2024 before we see anything. I know there's a lot of headlines. I know you see this crypto pump. You just want to FOMO in. You want to buy more. Just temper your expectations. I think Rudy Poo says it best. There's an appeal to the peel on the option to appeal. So there's always more legalese going to be thrown our way. Just expect more delays. Now, Firoz, last question on this topic. I go to you when I want to see the forest through the trees, as they say. When I could do the read between the lines joke. I don't want to do that one, but you're good at assessing a situation and maybe reporting next week's news. Off of this ETF, I would say rejection for the SEC, it's a win for Grayscale. Is there any trade we might be missing not related to Bitcoin? I get muted one more time. Heard you before the show. We're going to come back to him maybe. Firoz, I believe in you. We will get this. I'll answer for him.
Go look at the book behind you. You can figure it out. There's a book back there. You can troubleshoot and figure it out.
What is the trade to be had behind the trade? I'm going to guess he was going to say ETH. Not if you're going to say ETH. Maybe he was going to say ETH. That's how well I know him. Probably after Bitcoin ETF, ETH ETF might not be that far behind. So, maybe check that one out. Firoz, as you're working on, just feel free to interrupt me, interject, jump in. We'll know it works. All right, well, let's talk about Elon and X. What's going on with X? I think we might even have, do we have a picture for X here? Or not sure, but X, a landmark decision. Someone found this, a little Rhode Island. Do people even live there? Is that even a real state? Raise your hand if you've actually been there. Rhode Island just gave them a currency transmitter license. What does that look like? It's going to be a list of states. There's like 5 or 6. The move is... Yeah, man, we can hear you. You're going to get 2 questions here for us. Firoz, first, I know, great on the topic of American states. That's where we're going to give Firoz extra space here. But throw up that list one more time. These are the states that are, I don't know if it's confirmed, but this looks pretty official when you look at this website. Arizona, Georgia, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, that's New Hampshire, and then now, most currently, Rhode Island. Currency transmitter license is going to permit them to store, transfer, and exchange crypto, and it's a mandatory requirement for any company aiming to handle crypto or offer any kind of crypto-related services. So now the states are rolling up. Now, Firoz, there's one state, and even being outside of the states, you're probably maybe familiar with this, is New York and the New York regulators and just the Wall Street elite. Are they going to stop? Are we going to have 49 states, maybe even Guam and Puerto Rico and DC? And then all of a sudden, do you see one state potentially stopping it all, similar to what you might experience in the EU?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think if you kind of look at New York, I think from what I'm aware, and obviously I'm not based in the US myself, but I think you need to either obtain a bit license or a limited purpose trust charter from the New York State Department of Financial Services. That's what I understand. But from that perspective, what I do know is that to get those types of licenses, there is a lot more rigor. There's a lot more granular crypto regulations within those states in order to actually get those. So sure, at some point it looks like the writing's on the wall that all the states are slowly lining up to get it. But again, like you've said, New York is really where the elites are at the end of the day. And I think that's going to be the biggest hurdle more than anything else in order to actually get that. And when we do get that, then, I think the rest will naturally just roll off.
All right. All right. Well, speaking of rolling off, let's roll over this log and get to Forrest here. Now, Forrest, I'm asking you this question because I really like your branding, what you did with the Gordon Gecko, right? Is that the name? Gordon Gecko, the Gordon Gecko clone. Greed is good, except for, crypto, of course. Well, how do you feel about Twitter rebranding to X? There's a lot of education that happens. I'm sure X.com, probably cooler than Twitter.com, but only after we tell people it's not some weird Skinemax type site. So what are your thoughts on how he's handling it this far? Is this A+ marketing, branding, or is he maybe having some missteps?
Yeah, I mean, I think I forget what the estimate was for what the Twitter brand itself was estimated to be worth, but I think he forewent like a multi-billion-dollar value in brand alone. The Twitter branding was so strong; it's a household name. There are very, very few things that are in that in products and services and platforms that can penetrate into the English language. So, like, you Google something, that's huge for Google, right? You could search something on Bing or DuckDuckGo, but you're still going to say you Googled it. I can't still bring myself to say I'm tweaksing or Xing something. You're tweeting something, right? So I think this change in branding is difficult, but I do understand where he's coming from. I personally don't like the X brand that he went to. I think the Twitter branding was better. But how do you get people to really, really adopt some of the products and services that he wants to integrate if they still think it's the Bird app, if they still feel like they're on Twitter, if they still think that it's a microblogging and social media network? If he wants people to buy, send, sell, trade crypto and stocks and send payments across this app, it would feel weird to do that on Twitter. So I do understand why he's doing it. I just personally am not a huge fan of the branding, but at the end of the day, like, I'm on Twitter/X all day long. I'm going to continue to be there all day long regardless. So to me, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I don't think it's going to drive too many people away just because he changed the picture in the top left corner. I mean, he changed it to the Doge icon for like a week and nothing happened.
Yeah. Hey, it went up half a penny. What do you mean? Crypto blood. I need the blood-alytics here. Let's just say, this does happen. X gets all 50 states. We know it's coming. Maybe Elon fashion, it might be like, hey, it happens now. What kind of pump will we get from that news? Will it be bigger than today's Grayscale pump?
Well, of course, it won't happen all at once. Unfortunately, you have to go state by state to get these types of licenses, and that's what will happen. So it'll be a slow trickle effect. But I think ultimately this is even bigger news than a Grayscale ETF. It should be in ethos. It should be a bigger news point for us crypto tards than the ETF. Because the ETF only brings in Wall Street money. Of course, it's going to pump the bags. We're going to go higher, yada, 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 of course. But, from an ethos standpoint, to have Twitter kind of integrate crypto payments into its platform is legendary. I know it's X now, but it's legendary. It's going to actually create more adoption, more broad-based adoption than, let's say, an ETF, a spot ETF that your pension funds and your 401ks or whatnot can get into. So I think it's a bigger move, and you got to give credit to Elon for making that happen. He's been making a lot of steps in the right direction. He's not perfect. He hasn't made all the right steps, but he's making good steps in the right direction, Deezy, for freedom of speech, for, you know, self-sovereignty, adopting crypto. It's great, man. I'm loving it.
Good point. You know, there's a lot of exposure and, you know, money pumping in with an ETF, but when it comes to day-to-day usage, does your cousin know what it is? Does your dog know what it is? Crypto. I didn't mean to say cousin. You know, it works. It works.
You know,
it works
blood,
great.
does it blood know what it is? You know.
All right. Well, one more quick question for you, Firoz, on this topic. You know, if Doge is all of a sudden announced, you know, is, hey, you use it for tipping, sending, storing, that's not going to surprise anyone. Bitcoin, not going to surprise anyone. ETH and stables, probably not going to surprise anyone. What is your dark horse candidate for the coin that just shocks everybody? I cannot believe blank is now on X. What is blank?
I don't think there's going to be a coin that's going to surprise everybody. I think, like you've mentioned, you know, what comes to my mind straight away would be, of course, Bitcoin. You'd be stupid not to. Why wouldn't you? Ethereum, 100%. And obviously, if you kind of think about it, Elon Musk's XAI project is also supported by Ethereum as well. So you got the connections there. The other ones I think that would come to mind really would be Binance Smart Chain and Polygon. Those would be the other two. And the reasons I would say those four, including the two that you've mentioned, is because you're going to go with where the market cap is, where all the transaction volumes are, where most of the projects are being built. So that because again, if you're going to be, you know, to a certain extent, providing access to these chains, being able to trade on these chains, then you obviously want to tap into some of those fees as well, right? So he's not doing it out of the kindness of his own heart. There's something more to it behind that. So I would say those are the ones that would naturally just come to play. And I think we would just move down that list, you know, in terms of what is next on the line in terms of high transaction volumes, what is next on the line in terms of market cap. Eventually you'll get a few of the L2s, and then who knows what happens after that. You know, there might be some random meme that has Elon's face on it that turns up on there.
Who knows what happens after Matic and Binance is added? I do know what's going to happen. CZ is going to tweet 4. That's going to happen. All right, let's talk about Ripple Labs here and the XRP party, the party to end all parties. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows who's going to be there? This is just quick story. You know, let us know. Would you want to attend? Yeah, that's actually a mock-up of what the party is expected to look like. I'm going to be in the corner saying, they don't even know I have XRP. All right. Well, Ripple is in light of the recent victory. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple Labs, he has announced a grand celebration in the heart of the Big Apple. It's going to be held in New York City. He took to X to share the news, and the court's ruling in their favor just got everybody super, super excited. I might try to pull up the tweet at one point when we're talking about it. Now, Crypto Blood, I have a feeling you might have a hot take on this one. Is this a premature celebration?
Yeah, Deezy, you know I can't stand XRP. All you XRP army men and women out there, come on with it. Listen,
does this feel a little early, or is it earned?
I give them an X. I give them an X for extremely delusional. Okay, extremely delusional. That's what I give them. It is a little premature, in my opinion. I mean, as you saw, I said when the news came out, yeah, you guys were like, Blood, you're wrong, you were wrong. I was like, no, I was wrong and I was right. Like, and as things transpired, we all saw that ruling didn't really pack a punch. Other judges circumvented that ruling and went on ahead and said stuff wasn't a security or not and all that. So, listen, you got to just slow down. Let's just wait a little bit and see really what happens, because you saw the price of XRP. Everyone thought it was going to $1. Where did it go? It faded right back to 51 cents. I don't know where it's at today on the pump, but you know, the price tells you, man. You know, the price tells you. If it can't sustain that rally, then I think it was on a lot of hope.
All right. So, if you were in New York City and you had access, would you go?
Not at all. I don't participate in bankerism activities.
Okay. All right. Here's the tweet right here. They just tweeted out save the date. We're hosting a community celebration on September 29th in New York City. Stay tuned for more details to come later this week. Now, you know, there's a lot of party, you know, Forrest, I could ask you, hey, let's guess on what kind of punch that they're going to serve or what the hors d'oeuvres are going to be. But I think people are more concerned about what XRP's price is going to be. You know, what kind of levels are you looking at for XRP? And also, what are your broad thoughts on the party?
I mean, it's not a party that I'd personally be looking to go to. Whatever. I mean, if you're really into it, crypto's weird because it's like you have these people that like pick cryptocurrencies like they pick a football team. It's just like strange. It's like they wear like, you know, XRP hat or, you know,
That's
whatever.
true.
And then like this victory is like, you know, they won the Super Bowl or whatever. To me, it's a little bit strange. You know, I like a couple of the various different coins, but I'm not like getting them tattooed on my body type of thing. Or going and hanging out at parties for it. As far as levels go, I mean, if you look at XRP, every major pump in the last 3, 4, 5 years has been significantly retraced. So really one of the like what has historically been a really, really strong trading strategy for XRP is to, whenever it pumps really hard for a day or two, is to actually sell into the pump and then buy when it's just, you know, oversold and along with anything else. I personally don't do a lot of XRP trading or investing myself. Look, I'm not insanely bullish or bearish on XRP. I think you've got a lot of people that are delusional in the sense that they think it's going to go to $100. And they don't understand like the basic market cap that it's at, and the fact that like to do that it would have to surpass you know ETH and Bitcoin, and it just, to me, I just don't think that's the coin that's going to, you know, become number one in the world. Could it go to something like $2 to $3 in a bull market when everything else is pumping? Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, it's a crypto. It's a coin that a lot of people in the space like. And if we're in a bull market and they want to invest, you know, feel free. They can invest in it. But it's not something that I'm like super, super huge on personally.
So if you're in New York City, you got a ticket, you're not walking through the door.
No.
I would. And I'd show off my KuCoin XRP that I probably have to trade into another currency. Then I probably won't have XRP soon. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said, don't worry, I'll download an XRP wallet. I'll transfer it maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'll just grab it on Big Cat. I don't know. All right, Firoz, it's time for us to play pretend here. We're going to imagine a scenario of the future. We're jumping forward to September 29th. All right, a video goes out from the event. It's going viral. It's all over X. Is this a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment?
Oh, damn. A video goes out. What type of video? Who's in that video? I think it's going to be a positive one. I think it'll be a positive one. I'm sure people will have lots of fun and laughs about it. Exactly what the nature will be. Well, you know, what stays at that party doesn't get revealed later on, I suppose, more than anything else. So that's going to be my take on it, Deezy.
All right. You're in New York City. You're with the fam. Are you going to the party? Are you walking through the door? Are you shaking Brad's hand?
100%.
All right. Me and Firoz are going to be rubbing elbows. Firoz, Forrest, crypto, but someone agreed with Forrest. The weirdest people are in crypto. Hit that like button if you've ever been called weird. Crypto Blood, any XRP price alpha you want to drop for us? What you think it's going to do for the bull run?
It's going to go up, then down, then up, then down, then up. Then
all right.
Down.
Is that a Crown Chakra lyric?
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to shout out to the best rapper in crypto, except for maybe Cassius Cuvée. Top 2 right there for sure. All right. Well, that is all we have time for. I thought Blood was going to steal it. Firoz got sandbagged, and then Forrest just bringing hot takes against XRP, hotter than I was expecting. The mic is still sizzling in his apartment. Forrest, feel free, leave us with some parting thoughts. What you got on your mind?
Hey guys, look, I mean, obviously, you know, big win, big step for crypto today. I agree with Crypto Blood. I don't think that this is going to just launch us into outer space and into a new bull market, but I do believe in 2024, as we get closer to Bitcoin halving, as we you know follow up with the Bitcoin market cycle that we've seen play out 4 times now, really 3 times in all reality. And we get, maybe a Bitcoin spot ETF in 2024. I do think that, we'll see mass adoption. I do think that we'll get another market cycle, but I would, caution people towards not getting too crazy until then. There's still a lot of bearish things to happen between now and the end of the year. Just be patient. If you made it this far in a bear market, we are almost there. We're almost there. Just be patient, stick it out.
Yeah, we're like 7 months from the halving. Just be patient, guys. If you've been on this journey like me, time doesn't even seem real at this point. So just stick around. Bull market will be here. Whether it's 18 months, whether it's 80 months, Guys, it is going to happen. Bitcoin is a movement. I'm here for the long haul. That's all we got. Please hit that like button on the way out. It's been a great episode. Until next time, Deezy out. Thank you, everybody.